Shadows of doubt, a city where clues whisper louder than people, and fingerprints, witnesses, footsteps are all you have got between oblivion and justice. In this town where everybody's guilty, like murderers, kidnappers, and lowlifes. Yeah, scumbags like you and me. Doesn't this sound cool? Damn, I'm serious. But the one thing that made my gut twist was the phone call late at night. Unknown number. I hadn't gotten a call in years because I don't give my number to anyone.
This
Not
is
anymore.
Patrick.
At the moment I hung up, a letter slid under my door, quite as a whisper. Just 2 words scratched in it. Save Caleb. That's when I knew something was wrong. Terribly wrong. The first thing that came to my mind was the city directory. If Caleb was real and alive, and if he lives in this town, it would be in there. A quick scan was all it took. His name popped up faster than I expected, almost a little bit too fast. So I headed straight for his apartment. On the way I ran into a young woman, beautiful but suspicious in all the wrong ways. For a second I felt like our fates were tangled together by a thin invisible thread. But never mind. I never saw it again. Room 103. The moment I saw the number, something twisted in my gut. Too clean, too deliberate. The lock was too easy to pick, almost welcoming. After failing to seduce the air vent, I turned around and that's when I saw him. A body, freshly dead. I didn't know who he was, but at least not yet. I had to find out. A single bullet wound, no struggle. And on the dusty floor beside him, a footprint, shoe size 15, big enough to fall into. Searched the apartment top to bottom, and that's when I found Caleb Crawford's work ID. Everything snapped into place. The man I came to save was already dead. I searched for fingerprints, but most belonged to Caleb's fingers. He touched everything in this place like a little toddler. Then I spotted a safe code scribbled right there in the kitchen. That alone told me that Caleb wasn't exactly the sharpest tool in the shed. I cracked the safe expecting something big, documents, cash, and confession. Instead, drugs. Caleb was one of those bad boys, as the youngsters would say. But then I found something useful. A second pair of fingerprints. Unknown. Right on the side of the bed. Could have been an affair? Or the killer? Either way, someone else had been here recently. I was about to check the other rooms when knocking started. Hard, urgent. Whoever it was, they weren't here to deliver cookies. So I did the only thing left. I smashed the window and jumped off the roof. I went to the friend listed in Caleb's old phone book. Figured if anyone knew, it'd be him. 2 close friends, maybe gay. One ends up dead. Yeah, that kind of connection always raises suspicion. The moment I stepped into his place, he acted strange. Eyes darting, hands shaking, like he'd been expecting someone else. Someone dangerous. Before I could even introduce myself, he lunged at me. No warning, no words, just fists. That attack told me all I need to know. This guy was hiding something, big time. It just verified my suspicion that he was gay. Gay as a doornail. Gay as the grandpa next doors. Just gay as you. To be fair, he was a tough gay guy. He can take a punch or two. Drag him back into the apartment and slap the cuffs on him. After grilling him for a while, I realized this guy was a tough nut to crack. No answers, just endless questions. That went nowhere, so I started roughing him up a bit. It was like pouring gasoline on a fire. It only seemed to fuel him more. Frustrated and running out of options, I had to bail, but not before giving him one last beating. For good measures. At the end of the day, I was beat clueless. And the whole damn thing didn't add up. It looks like this case is gonna stay closed up. And the cold files downstairs in the basement. I woke up drunk on a cold bench, surrounded by homeless souls. When it hit me all of a sudden, I was one of them now. No money, no rent. All because I fuck up all cases. I wandered the streets, desperate for any kind of work, when I stumbled upon a strange character, a shapeshifter. No less, something I'd never seen before. Hope was fading fast and was ready to break into a house and steal, just to survive.
What?
Then out of the blue,
Change appearance.
the agency called me. They had a case with my name on it. I dropped the side hustle and took it. The target was Madison Jackson. I had to find her, or him. I hit his apartment, tried to sneak in, but the door swung open all of a sudden. A woman stood there, his wife. She handed me a note from the kidnapper. $4,000, no more, no less. We had to deliver a suitcase full of cash to some basement. Then call a number. The clock was ticking. 1:30 a.m. was the deadline, or the killer would make his move. I want to take a look around the apartment, but she wasn't having it. Then it hit me. Maybe she wasn't just the worried wife. Maybe she was part of the story. Could be the first case and this weren't tangled together? Only time would tell, but we didn't have much of that. So I did what any master detective would do. After poking around at her place, I found a note. Madison Jackson had been followed by a woman trailing him. He noticed. Could the woman posing as his wife be playing a deeper game? Maybe she wasn't just a spouse, but a player in this deadly puzzle. So I did what any masterclass detective would do. I made my way to the meetup spot. I bought a briefcase packed just like the kidnapper demanded, only this time it was filled with nothing but papers. I placed it exactly where I was told. I made a call, the money's ready, waiting for you.
What the bastard didn't know, there was not even a dime in that suitcase. Poor fool. He got tricked by a master detective.
But after I hung up, a door in the basement cracked open. I tested it a few times. Every time it swung wide open. Couldn't be a coincidence, right? I made up my mind. I had to take her down. I aimed to shoot, but somehow I forgot to use the pistol. Still, the impact was enough to knock her back. She fit the profile perfectly. A woman, just like Madison Jackson's note said, was being followed by a woman. She was armed and dangerous, ready to kill. She got back up like a ghost from the grave and beat me to dust.
When she vanished into the night, I knew. Another case down the drain, another failure stacking up. I lost all hope.
I got another note. This time, I had to find Mr. Zuri. No time to waste. I headed straight to his hotel.
Damn. Are you okay? The room is spinning. Well, soon my face is gonna spin in your face, bitch.
Ugh, what the fuck, dude? Disgusting. After breaking in, I found him in the kitchen, shot dead. 8mm rounds, a gun laid on the counter. Maybe the murder weapon?
Okay.
Maybe not. Too early to tell. I found his wallet. I confirmed it was Zuri. It was too late, but the killer was sloppy. There was a fingerprint, and then there was the name Chang Ying-wen, the landlord. According to a rental agreement, that name wasn't going anywhere anytime soon.
Chang Ying-wen. That's the landlord of everybody in the city. Chang Ying-wen. Chang Ying-wen. I'm tired. She can't keep getting away with this. And I'm gonna catch her someday.
Next, I hit the dinner spot where Zuri was last seen. I bribed the staff for the camera footage, but first I need to question a certain woman. She was a tough nut to crack.
Give me your name.
Going through the footage took forever because I got constantly interrupted by the staff members. I tried to intimidate the security guard with my expensive watch. Big mistake, didn't work on someone with so much experience. Fucking hell. Next thing I remember, I woke up in a hospital, knocked out cold, but I wasn't discouraged. I went right back to the dinner place. I finally found the footage and printed it out. He wasn't alone. There was a second person. A murder? Another victim? Now I had a new lead. Before chasing him down, I checked the table for fingerprints or clues. Nothing solid. Could have been anyone. I tracked down the building where she lived, but not the exact apartment. Time to ask around. I busted my ass trying to get answers, and most people either didn't know or didn't want to help me.
Then I stumbled on a woman. She knew like she knew more than everybody else in the city. Her eyes said help me, but everything else about her screamed danger. I gave her my best charming looks. And after some small talk, we exchanged numbers. Of course, only for professional things. And she spilled the beans.
She told me the woman on the printed photo was Zula Ngoepe, and she was dead too. Matt, what the fuck? You should clean that shit. I'm gonna sue you asses. Fuck you. Fuck. I rushed to her apartment, but the police was already there. Most of the evidence was probably wiped clean. Her body was still there, decaying. Same bullet holes as Mr. Zuri. Same ammo. Probably the same killer. I found out that she worked at the same company as Mr. Zuri. He was the boss. She was an employee. An affair maybe? Or something bigger. Then I looked at the rental contract. There she was again. Chang Ying-wen. She owned half of the damn city. She even owned my apartment. At that moment I had no clue how deep the rabbit hole went. I found 3 different fingerprints at her place. One was Mrs. Zula's, meaning 2 others. Maybe one of them was her husband. After asking the neighbor next door, I saw a man walking inside of the apartment. Even though it's marked as crime site, nobody is allowed in there. Except me, of course. It was her husband, Hugo. He was no big help, but because of the new fingerprints I got from him, there was only one more fingerprint that belonged to probably the killer. I was close. I found an email on her PC from someone named Topaz. This Topaz was after them both. After digging through her apartment, I made my way to where Mr. Zuri and Mrs. Zula worked. There was this woman, Miriam Hancock, close to both the victims and working there too, acting like she knew more than anybody else in this town. Before I left, I found Zuri's PC. I had the jackpot. An email from the killer, Topaz Notaras. Sloppy work, honestly. I headed to Miriam Hancock's hotel, but was stopped at the door by an older woman. Maybe her mother? I spotted Miriam in the back. I messed with her head a bit. Learned the trick back in detective school. Eventually I provoked her to make her hit me first. What the fuck?
And after that dead end, I went after my last lead. Everybody connected to her. Ching Yang Wen! Ching Yang Wen! I'm gonna get her. Even if it's the last thing I'll do.
Her place was decked out with high-end security. A person living like that has to be hiding something. No problem for me. I sabotaged the camera, cut the power to the whole floor, picked the lock and slipped inside. But to my surprise, nobody was home. I searched through her stuff and found a weird work schedule scribbled down. Why would somebody, note her own work schedule? And her rental agreement. Guess who the landlord was? Herself. More suspicious by the minute. Suddenly she came home. Fuck you, bitch. I waited in the shadows, struck her down at the perfect moment, knocked her out cold, cuffed her, for my own safety of course. She didn't tell me the whole truth, just the parts that would keep her alive. She wasn't cooperating, so I had to loosen her tongue a bit. Did some things I'm not proud of. To calm my nerves I drank the whiskey. Maybe I shouldn't have finished the whole bottle. How do you like that meat in your face, bitch? I passed out on her bed. When I woke up, she was gone, along with my cuffs. Where is she? That tough bitch. I knew she'd done something to that whiskey. I dragged myself back to the station and had in my report. I had a name, that Topaz guy, and I was correct. But this wasn't over. Before it ends, I'll end Ching Yang Wen. I stormed into Mrs. Chang's apartment, caught her off guard, knocked her out cold. No more games. Then without hesitation, I threw us both out of the window. Time to end this nightmare once and for all. Oh shit. But I killed Mrs. Chang too.
Killing this maniac Ching Yang Wen, I'm sacrificing myself. The city's still dirty and needs a hero. Not me, but you. You can save this city by subscribing and giving a like to kill and spit on Ching Yang Wen. Bitch. Fuck, that hurt. It was me all along. Bitch.